In the headlines for this hour on VTV News, Prime Minister receives South Korean firm leaders. Domestic market saw strong growth in the first half of the year. And in a warning, Hungarian Prime Minister calls for Ukraine ceasefire to speed up peace talks.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. Within the framework of his official visit to South Korea, on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with leaders of leading corporations in many fields. These corporations have invested billions of dollars in Vietnam, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs for workers. More to follow.
Receiving the chairman and CEO of POSCO Group, one of the 5 largest economic groups in South Korea, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính welcomed POSCO's plan to expand investment and operations in Vietnam. The government's top leader encouraged POSCO Group to invest in the direction of the digital economy, green economy, and circular economy. Regarding POSCO's proposal, the Prime Minister said Vietnam wants to strengthen international cooperation and attract investment in the field of rare earths in the spirit of fair and transparent competition between investors.
While receiving the chairman of CJ Group, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính praised CJ Group's effective business operations in Vietnam and asked the group to continue expanding investment with better quality. He hoped CJ Group would consider Vietnam a strategic market, especially in livestock farming, food processing aimed at reducing emissions, high technology, logistics, entertainment services, culture, and biotechnology.
During his meeting with the CEO of LG Display Company, the Prime Minister highly appreciated LG's investment and effective business in Vietnam. The CEO affirmed that LG would invest an additional $3 billion in Vietnam. The Prime Minister thanked LG for identifying Vietnam as a global production base for the group. The Prime Minister requested LG to increase the localization rate, create favorable conditions for Vietnamese businesses to join the group's supply and production chain.
On Wednesday morning, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn attended and spoke at the 15th session of the Binh Phuoc Provincial People's Councils for the 2021-2026 term. The National Assembly Chairman highly appreciated the achievements of Binh Phuoc Province. In 2023, the province's economic growth reached 8.34%, ranking first in the Southeast region and 11th in the country. In the coming months, the National Assembly Chairman suggested that Binh Phuoc focus its resources on developing inter-regional transport. He emphasized ensuring the progress and quality of the North-South Expressway construction project in the West, particularly the Gia Nghĩa-Trơn Thành section. He advised closely combining economic, culture, and social development with ensuring national defense and security. He believed that the locality will soon become an industrial province, an important economic growth pole, and an attractive destination in Southeast region. More than 40% of enterprises forecast that production and business activities in the third quarter will be better than in the second quarter. More than 42% of enterprises believe that they will be stable. This is the result of the Business Trends Survey of General Statistics Office, with the participations of more than 12,000 enterprises in the processing, manufacturing, and construction industries. Of these, the state-owned enterprise sector is the most optimistic, followed by FDI enterprises. It is assessed that the biggest difficulties in the coming months will be low domestic market demand and high competition. Enterprises recommend that the state take effective stimulus measures and raise awareness about the campaign Vietnamese people prioritize using Vietnamese goods. In June, total retail sales of consumer goods and services increased by 9.1% over the same period last year, estimated at $20.5 billion. Thus, in the first 6 months of this year, total retail sales of goods and revenue from services and consumption reached nearly $121 billion. The domestic market has shown positive growth thanks to the strong recovery of tourism and services.
Every year, Long usually goes on 2 trips during the summer. However, this year, due to many new tourism products, he has decided to travel more.
At this time, airfares are relatively high, so choosing a tour will help me save a lot of money.
The targets set for the first 6 months of the year were all met and exceeded. The number of domestic tours increased by 30% compared to 2023, while international tours increased by 40%.
Travel service revenue increased by 37.1%, the largest increase in the service industry, leading to a growth of many other important service industries.
There are currently 8.8 million international visitors to Vietnam. Since people's demand for travel is higher, domestic services such as accommodation, food, transportation, and retail goods also develop.
Although domestic retail sales of goods in the past 6 months show a moderate increase of 7.4%, consumers are shopping more and purchasing high-value goods.
In addition to his food, we also began to see other items such as household appliances, textiles, and fashion returning to growth.
There are over 500,000 new jobs. Notably, the small and medium-sized enterprises sector has shown impressive numbers, as more than 39,000 businesses have returned to operation.
The government has issued a policy to reduce value-added tax by 2% until the end of the year. This aims to boost the domestic market and achieve a 9% growth target in total retail sales of goods and services.
With a population of more than 51 million people, South Korea is currently a potential market for Vietnamese exporters. Bilateral trade turnover in 2023 between Vietnam and South Korea reached more than $76 billion. The two countries strive to double this number by 2030.
Every day, this factory produces more than 200,000 cakes of all kinds, of which more than 20% are exported to South Korea and other Asian countries. This number is likely to increase sharply in the future.
South Korean and Vietnamese customers have similar tastes, so we make sweets and Phie cakes to export to this market. We will export more products in the future.
In the past 6 months, the export turnover of Vietnamese goods to South Korea reached more than $12 billion, an increase of nearly 10% over the same period last year. In addition to good consumption, South Korea also imports at high prices as consumers prefer refined, convenient products from Vietnam.
South Koreans used to buy raw products, but they now prefer value-added and deeply processed goods such as our tempura or marinated shrimp. They only need to heat it up and enjoy.
The South Korean market is very meticulous, requiring strict control even from raw material growing areas, such as the control of pesticide residues.
Vietnam and South Korea have also officially upgraded their bilateral relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership. This will be an opportunity for Vietnamese businesses to increase the export of goods to this potential market.
Durian export in the past 6 months reached $1.5 billion, according to data from the General Department of Customs. Currently, durian turnover is 3.5 times higher than dragon fruit, the fruit that used to hold the top positions in the group of exported fruits and vegetables. Vietnamese durian has the advantage of abundant output, is harvested throughout the year, and at times does not directly compete with Thai durian. The Plant Protection Department recommends that localities and businesses closely monitor the codes of growing areas and packaging facilities and avoid purchasing goods from unlicensed places, which affects exports. And before moving on to some of the news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, July 3rd. next on VTV News. Peoples of Vietnamese origins to be granted identity certificates. In Vietnam's eco-friendly straws gain popularity as green product in Germany. On Wednesday, the North, the South, Central, the Central Highlands and the South are forecast to experience widespread thunderstorms. In particular, the mountainous and Midlands areas of the North will have heavy to very heavy rain. Rainfall in the mountainous and Midlands area of the North from Wednesday to Thursday morning will reach an average of 30 to 70 millimeters, with some places exceeding 120 millimeters. In addition, there will be a risk of flash floods on small rivers and streams, landslide on hillside, and flooding in low-lying areas. Residents should be aware of localized flooding, along with wild winds, lightnings, and gusts of wind accompanying thunderstorms. The period from July to September is mainly rainy season in the north and also the peak of the rainy season in the south. As such, people need to remain vigilant against heavy rains that will continue to appear. From July 1st, people of Vietnamese origin living in Vietnam whose nationality has not been determined will be granted an identity certificate. This is a new humane provisions of the 2023 Law on Identity. To be granted an identity certificate, people of Vietnamese origins whose nationality has not been determined must go to the identity management agencies of the district-level police where they live to request the collection and updating of information into the National Population Database and the Identity Database. The identity management agencies of the district-level police will receive the declaration information and collect biometric information on the fingerprints, facial photo, and irises of that person. After that, the Ministry of Public Security will establish a personal identification number and issue an identity certificate to that person. In recent years, the National Target Program for Building New Style Rural Area has contributed to changing the life of local people. The provisions of basic services has seen significant improvements, especially their criterion of ensuring clean water, which has enhanced the quality of life and ensured the health of the people. A report from Philippine Commune, Trảng Bàng District, Tây Ninh Province.
Mrs. I's family, like many other households in Ben Thuan Hamlet, Phuoc Ben Commune, previously had to use drilled well water for daily activities. To cook and drink, they had to use this water filtration device to remove iron and iron oxide to make it temporarily usable.
In the past, when there was no clean water, we used drilled well water, but the quality was not good, it was all iron oxide. Since we have clean water, it has been more comfortable, no longer worrying about contamination or poisoning.
This is the sedimentation tank of the Moc Bai water plant. If these red mud sediments are not treated, they can significantly affect health. In fact, if the water is contaminated with heavy metals, it can lead to chronic diseases. Therefore, for many years before the water plant was built, the main concern for the residents in this area was the water source.
The raw water has to be treated with chemicals. Soda increases the pH level of the water, while PAC creates alkalinity to precipitate iron oxide and settle it.
People now have access to clean water, so they no longer need to buy expensive water filters to treat well water.
Recognizing that clean water is an essential need for the people, Tay Ninh has focused on implementing a program to ensure safe water supply in rural areas, gradually improving living conditions, sanitation, and enhancing the health of the population, contributing to the development of new-style rural areas.
This is a rather special area of the province because in the past the population here was quite sparse. But in the near future, the plant will ensure clean water for the entire Moc Bai border economic zone, helping increase population density, with more workers and business people gathering here.
As of the first half of 2024, 99.6% of the rural population in Tay Ninh has access to clean water. The province is also submitting a project for approval by the Prime Minister for Sustainable Rural Clean Water and Sanitation and Climate Change Response. aiming to serve the clean water for about 27,000 households in 16 communes of Tan Bien, Tan Chau, and Chau Ton districts in Tay Ninh province.
In recent years, tourism has played a key role in the economic development of many localities in the Central Highlands. To meet high recruitment demand, many tourism companies have provided training for newcomers, especially ethnic employees, to help them improve the essential knowledge and skills needed for their jobs. As a result, many ethnic people have changed their life thanks to sustainable livelihoods. A report from Mang Den Town, Kon Tum Province.
Growing coffee is one of the most long-standing livelihood practices of the Gazong people in Kon Tum Province. Every day, Yizun assists her parents at her family's coffee plantation. As she attended brevet service training, she gained valuable insights into coffee beans and learned how to make delicious cups of coffee.
I'm very happy because now I can make a perfect cup of coffee. Many visitors have praised my drinks. I'm very proud and expect more in-depth training in making drinks and beverages.
I attended a training course to learn how to make drinks and beverages for 6 months. I was taught how to classify coffee varieties to find healthy, high-quality coffee beans. I still want to pursue this job, as I can earn a lot of money from it.
Ituk attended a housekeeper training course. She was taught how to clean a room and make a bed to ensure that guests have a comfortable and pleasant stay. As an ethnic woman, she finds such hands-on experience interesting and useful.
Before attending this course, I only did farming, but now I have a better job with a stable income. I have a chance to make friends with different people. I've learned English to improve my communication skills.
Local authorities in the Central Highlands have prioritized tourism development in recent years. They have provided vocational training for ethnic people to boost their participation in community-based tourism.
The participation of ethnic communities has played a significant role in developing local tourism. Providing vocational training for ethnic people is the most effective way to help them improve their income and contribute to preserving local culture and traditions.
Vietnam ranks 6th in the world for the cheapest retirement cost, making it suitable for retirees who love adventure, according to the assessment of Travel Plus Leisure's magazine. According to this assessment, the total cost of living in Vietnam is about 59% lower than in the United States. Housing rents are about 79% lower. High-quality healthcare services are very affordable. Vietnam also has many beautiful landscapes and a rich cuisine. Foreigners can apply for long-term visas or business visa. On Tuesday, Vietjet launched its newest route connecting Ho Chi Minh City to Xi'an, the capital of Shanxi Province, China, at Xi'an International Airport. This marked Vietjet's third flight route between Vietnam and China, alongside routes to Shanghai and Chengdu. Operating 4 round-trip flights weekly, the route aims to strengthen cultural and economic ties between the two cities and neighboring countries. As the excitement builds for Euro 2024, football fans from around the world are encouraged to use green products and eco-friendly travel options, such as public transport. In response to Euro 2024 environmental protection efforts, Vietnam has introduced a green product in Germany. More to follow.
When eco-friendly straws made in Vietnam were introduced in Germany, Chris, a creator of environmental art, worked with many artists to organize an exhibition about organic straws from Vietnam.
Ute and I really love these eco-friendly straws. We spent a lot of time making artworks from Vietnam's organic straws, as we wanted to spread the message of environmental protection to other people. Vietnam's eco-friendly straws can be cooked and consumed like noodles.
According to the representative of DT Handel, it took the company more than 10 years of research to make eco-friendly straws. Their straws must meet the European Union's strict requirements to be exported to the EU market.
Our straws are made of plant-based materials such as vegetables and fruits without using chemicals or artificial preservatives.
Colorful eco-friendly straws, made in Vietnam, have left a good impression on customers and are exported to 4 countries in Europe and 5 countries in Asia. Euro 2024 is a great opportunity for Vietnam's green products, such as eco-friendly straws, to be introduced worldwide.
Coming up next in On War News, Hungarian Prime Minister calls for Ukraine ceasefire to speed up peace talks. And at least 121 people killed in a stampede at India, Hathras. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban urged Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday to consider a ceasefire to speed up peace talks with Russia. The proposal came as Prime Minister Orban held talks with President Zelensky during his first trip to Kyiv in more than a decade. Their talks focused on possibility for achieving peace as well as current issues in Hungarian-Ukrainian bilateral relations. Prime Minister Orban emphasized that the issue of peace is important not only for Ukraine but also for the whole Europe. Hungary supports any initiative aimed at putting an end to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. He added that Hungary wanted to improve its ties with Ukraine and offered to help modernize the Ukrainian economy. The Japanese Defense Ministry unveiled its first basic policies on the use of artificial intelligence (AI) on Tuesday. The focus on AI comes as the Japanese self-defense forces grapple with concerns about recruitment and their ability to harness the power of new technologies. According to the new policy, AI will be used in 7 priority areas, including detecting and identifying targets using radar and satellite images, intelligence collections and analysis, and unmanned military assets. The technology will also be employed in command and control, cybersecurity, logistics support, as well as in helping to make administrative work more efficient. The use of AI will speed up decision-making, ensure superiority in information gathering and analysis capabilities, reduce the burden on personnel, and save on labor and manpower. The death toll from a stampede at the Hindu religious congregations in northern India has risen to 121. The victims included 108 women and 7 children. The stampede on Tuesday occurred at a religious event in the village in Hathras district, Uttar Pradesh, about 200 kilometers southeast of New Delhi. The police has permitted 80,000 people to gather, but the actual attendance was more than 3 times that number. A large crowd had gathered near Hathras for a sermon by a popular preacher, but a fierce dust storm caused panic as people were leaving. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed his condolences to the victims' relatives. He announced compensations of $2,400 for the next of kin of those who died and $600 for those injured in the incident. Meanwhile, the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister ordered local authorities to speed up relief efforts. Green campaigners in a diving resort in the Philippines have come up with a novel way to clean up the town shores. They offer to swap a bag of rice for every sack of trash gathered by local residents. More to follow.
Plastic Pallet Bigas program involves residents of the town of Mabini. The project is funded by donations from private individuals and small companies that advocate for marine conservation. Mabini in Batangas province is known for its vibrant corals and marine biodiversity, but a rising tide of plastic pollution poses an increasing threat to marine animals such as sea turtles.
So I've seen sea turtles entangled in nets and other types of plastic. They've been known to eat straws and plastic bags. And the fish also eat microplastics that have been, broken down in the shore. And recently we've been finding more and more microplastics even in fish that we eat. So it's also harmful to us.
Since cleanup efforts began in October 2022, more than 4,300 kilograms of garbage have been collected and exchanged for a total of 2,600 kilograms of rice.
The program is a huge help to local residents, as they have to cope with the increasing costs of basic goods like rice. Now during their free time they can clean, and they push themselves to clean because they get something in return.
The exchange of trash for rice is a huge help for us because in a month I need 4.5 sacks of rice. But now all I have to buy is 2 sacks, which is a huge help in saving money. It also helps the environment and it shows when our surroundings are clean.
The Philippines is the world's largest contributor to plastic waste in the ocean, accounting for 36% of the global total, according to the Our World in Data project at the University of Oxford.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that are all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.